Hi, everybody. My name is Rebecca Egan, and I am your child's second grade teacher this year for the school year 2022 and 2023. Welcome to Meadowlark, and this is our open house presentation. So I will be putting this on Seesaw, and then you can watch it as many times or as few times as you like. All right, I'm going to share my screen so that you know exactly what we are looking at here. I think. There we go. Share. Got it. All right. So, first thing is a little bit about myself. This is my 20th year of teaching in the Billings Public Schools. I was born and raised in Billings. I have a husband and two adult children that are going to college and a dog. I love to garden. I like to do water sports and pretty much anything outside. I've lived in Billings my whole life except for college. And so I went out of state for that. And that's a little bit about my background. I actually am a product of Billings Public Schools. I went to elementary school at Poly Drive. I went to Will James and graduated from West High School. And I'm a big believer in our school system. We work very hard. And so it's an amazing place for your kids to spend their day. I have taught kindergarten, first, second, third, and sixth grade here in the district. And this is the sixth school that I have been at. Let's go ahead and talk about this sheet that we're looking at right here. Breakfast is offered at our school at 8 a.m. every day. So if your child is coming to have breakfast with us, there will be breakfast held in the commons. And that's that area right off the back of the school by the playground. If you are choosing to eat breakfast elsewhere, we do what's called soft start in second grade, which means that your child is welcomed into our classrooms in the annex at 8:10. But we do ask that nobody drops their kid off before 8:10 unless they're having breakfast, just because they're outdoors and they tend to sometimes fiddle around and not make the greatest choices, and they're not supervised because it is a duty-free time for teachers. And so we're asking parents to please not bring your child before 8 unless they're having breakfast, or 8:10 if you are not having breakfast here in the building. Our tardy bell rings at 8:25, and so beyond that, we have to count your kids tardy if they're not in the annex at that time. Looking down my list, we are now looking at the specialists that we see every week on Mondays, every other week, 2 times a month. We get to see Mrs. Phillip, and she gives us some good life lessons on how to deal with little concerns, big concerns, problem solving solutions, things like that that occur with just living with a lot of other kids in the same classroom. That Mrs. Phillip is the same person as it was in the years past. Her name is Miss Todd formerly, and she got married this summer, and so that's why the name change. On Tuesday, we have PE with Mrs. Siliker. Please wear tennis shoes that day. Thursday, we have library with Mrs. Taylor. Please return your books that day. And Friday, we have music with Mrs. Holt. And also wear comfortable clothes and shoes that you can move around in for music. Let's talk a little bit about homework. Homework, I do ask people to be working with their kids every single day after school. If you could be reading daily with your child for 20 minutes, I found that as a parent at bedtime, that was a really great time to read with my kids because it was calming. It can be something where you share the reading task and you read one page, they read the other. Or if they're really struggling, listen to them read. And then when they struggle, count to your head in your head a second and saying, give it 1, give it 2, give it 3 seconds. And if they're really stuck, help them out with the word. Just so that there's some continuity to the story. We want it to be enjoyable, not a task. Also, every week in second grade, we will be taking a spelling test on Fridays. Every Monday, you will get home a list of our spelling words. And that list, I ask that you do something kind of tricky with. If you would always keep it in the same place, I always recommend kids keep their backpacks and homeworks in the same place in their house so they always know where to find their things. But I recommend that you keep your spelling list posted on your refrigerator somewhere, someplace that as you walk by, you're reminded, oh, shoot, we got to practice those. One thing I found out last year is that some kids like to take home a whiteboard expo marker that looks like this. I think you know what it is. And they work fabulously on the windows of your house. And I'm not encouraging vandalism. What I am encouraging is if you have a sliding glass door or something, it's awesome to dictate the spelling words to the kids and have them practice writing them over and over and over. And I do 3 times per word where they have to write the word 3 times. Then check them to make sure they're putting muscle memory and they're doing it correctly because we don't want to ingrain bad habits in spelling words. So please check them. And then we always have a spelling test on Fridays. The list is 15 words long for most kids. There are a couple that need some exceptions, and we will deal with that as things pop up. So we will be sending home some math homework. It's called Eureka Math Squared as needed. It's not a daily thing, but when we have a check that we need to do at the end of the day, I do have the kids tear a page out of their new workbooks and take them home to complete it and return it the next day. If there's any work that your child is struggling to get completed during our class time, I also send that home in their yellow folders. And let's talk about the yellow folder for a minute. It looks like this take home folder. It has your child's information on it. This one doesn't have it, but right here, there is a QR code on your child's. And that's in the event that they get sick or have to spend an extended amount of time at home or on vacation. That way, they can scan their QR code and they can work on school activities that I assign them and ST Math and Seesaw activities that way. But when they don't finish their work at school, and I'm not usually unreasonable. I give a lot of time, but for some reason, I don't know why, but once in a while, kids have a hard day, and I understand that. And so I want them to be able to take their work home and finish it. There are two sides to this folder, as you know. One of them is return to school. The other side says keep this at home. And so that gives you some direction. Let's talk about snack. I do ask in second grade that kids are responsible for bringing their own snack each day. Some people choose to bring a box and leave a box of crackers or something here at school, and then their child takes a handful out every time we have snack. And they eat out of it until they are finished with it, and then I send the box home in their backpack, so that is a visual reminder that I'm out of snack, and they need to bring another one tomorrow. The other one is some people like to bring in fresh fruit and vegetables and things like that daily. I do ask that you try to stay away from too much sugary things. You would be surprised at how much that affects kids in their day because the sugar allows them that their sugar makes them spike for some reason, makes them pretty wild and hard to focus sometimes. And so I am asking that you could pack some healthy snacks. That would be very much appreciated. All right, let's look down at birthday celebrations. Birthday celebrations, we love them. Treats are welcome. Just know that. And they don't have to be store bought anymore, just because that was a COVID thing. We also, if you're going to send something that might be a little messy, if you could send napkins or a roll of paper towel or something, that would be really, really appreciated. If you have a birthday party that you are planning, I'm going to ask that you please distribute your invitations after the school hours. And there's a really good, valid reason for that. If not everyone is invited to the party, kids get so excited when they see a birthday party invitation in their little school mailbox, and they can't wait but open it and talk about it right away. And it's just an impulsive activity that kids are because they're excited. But there's always a few kids that are really disappointed when they are not included in that birthday party invitation. And so, just to keep everybody's feelings safe and let them start the day in a positive manner, I'm asking that you please distribute your birthday party invitations outside of school hours. That could be on the playground after school, or mail them or deliver them to their house, whatever you choose. All right, looking down at rules and discipline. I'm asking that your child would demonstrate our 5 class rules for you, and they have actions. And so I'm going to tell you what they are right now, and then you can check them to see if they have them memorized. No, the order goes like this. It's rule number 1, follow directions quickly like a fish. And then rule number 2 is raise your hand to speak. Rule number 3 is raise your hand to leave your seat. Rule number 4 is make smart choices. And rule number 5 is keep your teacher happy. I'm a pretty positive person and I start each day with a fresh outlook. But that 5th rule is a good one for covering all those little loopholes when kids think, oh, I didn't know that that wasn't safe. And you're thinking, but does it keep your teacher happy? Okay. So anyway, that's the cover and the catch-all on that one. So ask your kid to tell you the rules because they do know them. When kids are blurting out in class or misbehaving, throwing things, refusing to do work, all these things are part of growing up. It happens. But when those things start to happen and they start to take away from the learning that everybody can have in the classroom, I do give out warnings. And then beyond that, if the behavior continues, then I ask them to walk a sensory lap or walking a regular lap. If they don't want to do the sensory lap, they can do that too. But I want them moving. Kids, it seems like they get antsy and they get super active because they have all this bottled up energy. And we move around a lot in the classroom, up and down and moving around and partner and talking and all those things. But there are times when some kids can't handle it. And so they end up getting some laps, which is unfortunate, but I want them to get exercise while they're doing it because then that helps them adjusting their behavior while staying fit, if that makes sense at all. And I mean, like getting rid of exerting some energy. All right, let's talk about volunteers. I'm towards the end of my talking points. Volunteers, I do love weekly and periodic helpers. Let me give you an example of each. A weekly volunteer would be somebody that shows up every week at the same day, same time, and is doing a specific task in our classroom. For example, possibly leading a book club or working on flashcards with certain students that need extra fix up strategies on either math or sight words or things like that. That goes a long ways in the classroom. If you'd be willing to be a weekly helper, I would love that so much. It would help us out. Plus, you'd also get the benefit of hearing these funny little kids when they say their crazy things, and they're so full of life and personality. So I think anybody would love it. Periodic helpers are people that just show up once in a while for, let's say, to help out with a Halloween party or to help out with a Valentine's party or something like that. So if you are interested in being a regular or periodic volunteer, we will need to have you stop by the main office and fill out some paperwork. It's just a quick one form, I guess, that you have to fill out that does a background check just to make sure that we're all safe being together all the time. So, at the very bottom of my talking points, it says these are the contact me. And what that is this is my Seesaw app is probably the easiest and best way for you to get a hold of me. My email is another great way. I check that at least once a day, if not twice. My email is Egan R E G A N letter R for Rebecca at billingsschools.org. And that's a tricky one because there's double S's in the middle. Or if there's a change in your schedule, so let's say that you are a bus riding kid and all of a sudden the schedule changes and someone is going to pick you up from school, there's a pretty good chance that I may not see that. And so if that change happens during the day, I need you to please call the main office at 281-6213 and please either speak with or leave a message for our secretary, Mrs. Cherry, and they will buzz into my classroom and let me know what has changed for a child. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing this screen. And I'd like to talk to you a little bit about another screen, which is the apps that your child is using in school. See if I can get this to go. So here we go. We use Clever a lot. I'm hoping you can see this. Clever is the QR code that's on the front of your take home folder. If your child is going to be absent for a period of time, a couple days, there is ways that we can get your child's work and things and assignments to them and ST math assignments so that they don't fall so far behind that it's impossible for them to catch up. And my cursor is hovering right now over Gigi. I think you can see that. It's a penguin. And that penguin's name is Gigi. ST Math is our brain training math program that we use almost every day. We're supposed to be doing 90 minutes in class per week. That's a lot of time. And unfortunately, right now, we're not getting all 90 minutes because we're still learning how to do our procedures and things like that and get it done with clean transitions quickly. As the year goes on, it will get easier. Another one that we use regularly is Seesaw, and that's right here. It looks like a colorful bow tie. I'm going to click into that so you can see. That's where I put in most of our assignments. You received a QR code at the very beginning of the school year, and it's how I'm communicating with you mostly. When a child has an assignment, I'm hovering over the light bulb and it says activities. That would be where your child needs to go. And then all the assignments that I have are then posted on the left. And so we have several on here that we have already been doing. And when your child is ready, they click into it and they add their response and then they click the check mark to turn it in when they're done. It's just like turning in a piece of paper. They just click in with the check mark and it gets right to me digitally. The last website I wanted to share with you is called Epic. And this is going to help you with your nightly reading every 20 minutes. If you do not have a big library of children's book on hand at home, that is not a big deal. This is a great website and it's called getepic.com is how you find it. There will be some prompts that ask you if you're a student, if you're a parent, if you are a teacher. You would want to click in as a student so that your student could read on your device, whatever that is. But the way that Epic keeps it a closed group is they give you an access code, a class code. And I am hovering around it right now, but I will say it out loud if you cannot see my screen. The class code that will last all year for our kids in Mrs. Egan's class on Epic is, get ready, here it comes, EMR 6396. And once you type that in, it will allow you to get in and have a whole lot of books to browse with and read with your child if you want something different than a good old fashioned book. All right, I'm going to stop sharing again, and we're back. And I just wanted to say thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing your children with me this year. I'm looking forward to doing great things together. All righty. Thank you so much.